Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back with another recording of Hearthstone. BlizzCon is going on, or has gone on as far as its live stream. So there are new announcements and we're getting cards galore. We're getting these like golden cards which seem cool, but they seem to be like new too. Like maybe they're not. So today is definitely probably the day you should log in if you haven't logged in to Hearthstone. Where else are we? I guess this is sort of a new background with things coming across the face. That's kind of distracting. There's really no reason to re-roll anything. Just need to play some druid cards, some spell cards, and maybe I will play the monster hunt off screen. So yeah, this theoretically would give me 50 dust, and I don't see a reason not to take it. And this I think is fine to get some dust from too. But this one, I bet I don't own 2 copies of this card. So I might as well just hold on to this one. If you control 3 minions with 7 health, deal 7 damage to all enemies. It's a Boomsday Project card too. I guess I just have forgotten about it. So yeah, okay. I don't know if you get the same cards all the time. There's also a new card back for the month. So let's go ahead and make this our new favorite and then start playing Druid. So we have reset. We need to play ranked. We need to get back up to ideally his rank 17 or higher. I managed to do the end of the year video for games starting with the letter P. So we're making little bits of progress. I also had to take some time out to get some videos scheduled before that. So honestly, I think I probably woke up around 3 in the morning, did the video starting with P. Maybe I took a nap after making that video, then woke up again and scheduled the videos for this month, November. Like, I literally, for my 2:45 time slot, which certainly there is a question about, should I still be maintaining the 45-minute time slot, or is that stupid? It really comes down to, are people coming to YouTube specifically at the o'clock point? The main goal of shifting all my episodes to be released at the 45 minutes on the hour was so the videos would get notified more often. That literally has never been the case. It didn't improve anything in that case. But there might be a secondary thought that if all the big streamers are releasing at 2 o'clock and my video comes out at 2:45, maybe that would be right around the time people are done watching other streamers, other people's videos. I don't know. That's another thing that I just need feedback from. Honestly, like what are my fans' habit? What are the average YouTuber viewers' habit? I have no clue. With even though I do now have apparently 303 subscribers, so I grabbed a couple more subscribers somehow. The numbers are so low as far as views and subscribers that any form of testing is well within any margin of random error. So yeah, I can't get into the beta there. But regardless, I scheduled things to air at the 2:45 time slot, but found out that I had made 3 episodes of playing a game called Back to Bed. It's a puzzle game. It's not very good. I didn't like it that much. And it didn't record right. So now I've been given this challenge to potentially play the game a second time and see what happens there. Yes, this was totally the right move. Totally the right move.
I fight.
So yeah, I now, because it didn't record right, I have to go and see if I can record it again and make 3 episodes. And really, it's kind of important because I don't want to start the end of the year recordings just at the wrong time. I really want to start on December 1st, so it runs right up to the nearly the end of the game, or nearly the end of the year. And so yeah, I've done the scheduling. I recorded an episode, and now I just need to play Hearthstone on this Friday. Hopefully somebody will actually watch, but the odds are probably kind of low. And then I'm gonna try to have a pretty normal, pretty sort of laid back, but still sort of productive weekend if I can do it. I don't want to, with these end of the year videos in particular, it's kind of crazy to even think about.
The scourge will devour all.
It's crazy to think about trying to record 2 or 3 episodes because every episode is going an incredibly long amount of time.
What a bomb!
So yeah, if we can do this twice, we can buff a bunch of people. And we'd be playing a spell, which is what we're supposed to be doing. So yeah, I'm thinking 2 or 4 episodes over the weekend. Hopefully 3 or 4, but probably not 5 or 6. And as for Thursday, I was grocery shopping for most of the day, so there was a lot of time there where I was not doing a recording and making content, which always kind of sucks. 2 damage to all characters. Is there any way I could kill this guy? Not really.
For the wild. Job's done.
So we've got a decent amount of news with Blizzard. I guess one of the things to point out is Activision Blizzard is giving away Destiny 2. But I tried to look at how you're supposed to go to battle.net and recover it and claim it for free. They're doing a claim it and it's your free to keep type deal. And I want to claim it. Now, in all honesty, I really wouldn't play Destiny 2. I think it's way too late to get into that idea. Yeah, that is kind of silly. Let's do this, I guess.
For the wild. Job's done.
There you go. So yeah, I really doubt I'd get into Destiny, but since it's through the Battle.net launcher only, and since I already use Battle.net for Hearthstone, it's not crazy to get the game there. If Destiny 2 was also on Steam, I would still probably grab it, but it would kind of suck. Because I'd still very much, as I'm doing the wishlist cleanup and trying to better manage games I want to play and games I already own, and games I want to own, it's just more of an enforcement that if there's a second launcher that doesn't integrate with Steam, I'm not going to remember that I own this game, so I probably will succeed at claiming Destiny 2, never launching it, and forgetting within the course of a year that I even own it. And it's kind of a pretty blatant, obvious thing they're doing, where they're going to release DLC and try to make up the money from the base game. Moving forward, Gamma Sutra has an article, Obituary, Mario Segale, S-E-G-A-L-E, which might be pronounced Seagal, but I'm not sure. The real-life namesake of Super Mario has passed away. He was the Washington-based real estate developer whose Nintendo's own Super Mario was named after. He passed away at the age of 84. Let's see. Let's see. So the Japanese Nintendo was renting a warehouse from Segale back in the 70s at roughly the same time as the Mario creator Shigeru Miyamoto was searching for a proper name for the character, who was originally called Jumpman in Donkey Kong. The story goes that Nintendo was behind on its rent, resulting in confrontation between Segale and then President Minoru Arakawa. After settling the dispute, the company decided to rename Jumpman in his honor, and the rest, they say, is history. See. Says Segale tried to keep a low profile and wanted to be known for his many personal and work achievements. Was described as someone who loved hunting, fishing, his airplanes, and a good joke. The color red, great Italian food with no cheese, and an excellent cigar, and his view of the future of the sands. His passion was figuring out how to do things in new and better ways. It continues, which often include drawing things on the backs of napkins and placemats. The innovations he brought into the construction industry that are still seen today attest to his remarkable creativity. So, I mean, very minimally related to actual video game this news is, but okay. Moving on, Gamma Sutra has an article, Weekly Jobs Roundup, Monster Squad, Game Closure, and more are hiring now. So if you want to work for Game Closure in Tokyo, Japan, which sounds like the worst name you could ever name a company, Game Closure, as a systems engineer, that job is listed. If you want to be a Unity developer for Inno Games, INNO Games in Hamburg, Germany, there's a job listing. If you want to be a senior narrative writer for Impulse Gear, you can, in San Francisco, California, there's a job listing. 1 second, I'm gonna cough. I imagine I'm gonna get sick within the next 3 weeks. I kind of get the feeling that that's gonna happen. So I might miss some streams. If you want to be a senior producer for Cryptic Studios in Los Gatos, California, there's a job. If you want to be an Unreal Engine 4 gameplay programmer for Monster Squad in Seattle, Washington, there's a listing. So several job listings. TechRaptor has an article, Assassin's Creed Odyssey patch 1.0.6 hyphen free DLC features and fixes. So it's titled The Show Must Go On. The free DLC marks the first story of the Lost Tales of Greece series. These missions will be released over the next few months for free at regular intervals. Interesting. You know, it's kind of pretty obvious that Red Dead Redemption has completely eaten the lunch of Odyssey. The question really, I guess, would be, what do you do to fix that? Honestly, if I was Ubisoft, I would have said, hey, let's just not release Odyssey at all for 6 months. Just delay it. Because sure, you got some initial sales and initial hype and people were loving it, but now everybody's on to Red Dead Redemption 2. Also, I think a lot of people probably jumped from Odyssey to Spider-Man 4. The competition is just very, very tight this year, and Ubisoft in particular could have managed to delay the game and been fine. Let's move on. I guess there's nothing else to say about that. That's always the question, I guess, is whether they've made them more money had they released it, say, in February of 2019.
Speak your peace.
TechRaptor has another article. Demon hunting comes to mobile with Diablo Immortal. This is one of the things that was announced at BlizzCon, is that they are releasing an iOS and Android Diablo game called Diablo Immortal. I didn't really watch the cinematic, so I guess we can I can watch it now as far as the cinematic trailer. There was an implication, and I'm not 100% sure this is actually true, but there was an implication that this game would also launch on PC through the Battle.net launcher. And so if it is like Hearthstone, where you can play on your phone and you can play on your PC, that would be amazing. I don't know if it becomes really still a game you want to play though on your phone, because you gotta remember that Diablo 1, Diablo 2, Diablo 3, all those games are mostly about mouse clicking and hitting a couple of hotkey buttons on your keyboard to refill your health and mana and maybe cast a spell. When you have no hotkeys because you're playing on a cell phone, then you're just tapping the screen constantly. If you're tapping your screen constantly, you're probably going to hurt your fingers eventually. Well, I definitely am. And just get tired through that whole process.
Job's done.
The cinematics for a mobile Diablo game are not going to be great looking, so while I'm looking at a very fancy looking like theatrical cinematic right now as an advertisement, this is probably not what you're gonna see on your phone. And if it is what you see on your phone, it's gonna have to download all those cinematics and take up lots of space, which most phones don't have. It would be a major battery drainer, just gonna play a little defensively here.
For the wilds. Job's done.
And I really don't know how you would want to play Diablo. Unless it was something where it automatically attacked and it automatically went in the direction you pointed. So it's just a tap every few seconds to say I want to go in this direction or that direction. Which that might work. And then whenever the enemy, you were near an enemy, it would just attack by default. And then you'd have to tap like at the bottom of the screen left and right to heal yourself. There's a gameplay trailer down here. Let me watch this and see. I suppose I could have just restreamed all of BlizzCon's conference, but I didn't even know what was going on. Honestly, I was paying so little attention.
Someday I'll be just like you.
So it seems like they put all the moves towards the lower right corner so you can use your thumb. And one assumes you might be using your right thumb to move. Still kind of looks like something that would be more along the lines of a game that would work better on a tablet than a cell phone. I suppose you might run into problems also of just how many enemies really could be on screen. It's very possible that there's just slightly the same number, if even possibly less numbers of enemies on the screen in this game than there were in Diablo 2 or Diablo 3. Because those, for every character, there's an AI that would have to be programmed, and cell phone processors aren't designed to work that way. This really feels like a game that would just run really, really poorly on some older cell phones. Like, and I seriously doubt we're going to get to the point where people are going to be willing to buy new phones to play a single game.
Give that minion a turn to get for the wilds.
Yeah, so I'm watching the gameplay. It's okay. This game was built by NetEase in partnership with Blizzard Entertainment too, so that's slightly interesting, I guess. And honestly, that might be the most interesting thing that came out of the BlizzCon announcements. Making little bits of progress. Yeah, we'll get at least 2 of these done relatively quickly. Gematsu has an article, Destiny 2 for free, Destiny 2 for PC, free until November 18th. You have to claim your free gift. And existing players of Destiny 2 will receive an exclusive emblem not available in December.
Must be preserved.
You'll also be able to try the Forsaken's new 4 vs 4 hybrid mode Gambit from November 9th to 11th. Let's try to play more druid cards and more spells. Well, Gematsu's link to claim the free gift took me directly to the page to claim it, so I just clicked item claimed. Okay. Cool. So apparently I now own Destiny 2. I'll probably never play it. But I would say everybody should grab it.
Time waits for no one.
There's really not a lot of reason to not grab it. TechRaptor has another article. A lot of these are just going to be from BlizzCon. Tragic Masters on the chat saying good game. Thank you, Tragic. Warcraft 3 Reforged revealed at BlizzCon. It's coming in 2019, which means that we're probably never going to get a remaster or even like a easy way to play Warcraft 1 or 2. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe nobody actually would want to go back and play Warcraft 1 and 2. Looking at the video, I just started watching the video of Warcraft 3. It looks pretty good. CG animations. They also talked about, I don't know if I even got a story about it, but there's the next Hearthstone expansion is going to be around trolls and Loa, animal god spirits. So we'll have to see if I can get any more information about that. So looking at Warcraft 3, there's a demon character they just showed, which is not something that I think has been in the Warcraft series at all. The Warcraft series, to my recollection, were only orcs and humans fighting each other, and that was it. So there was none of the other, none of the other characters or classes that have since been added to World of Warcraft. I guess I'd play Warcraft 3. It would make more sense than saying going back to like StarCraft 2. But in all honesty, I'd play them all. They all seem like if I can just make a sort of accelerated run through all the Warcrafts and all the StarCrafts and all the Diablos, I'd play them all and just talk about the story parts. And that's all I'd really talk about. Let's see.
Speak your peace.
And attack. Let's see, Gematsu has the same article about the Diablo Immortal announcement. Let's see. Diablo Immortal is supposed to happen after Diablo 2 Lord of Destruction and before Diablo 3. So you won't really be getting any new story. I'm not 100% sure that where the story would be after Diablo 3, honestly. I'm not sure if you can have a game set up to that point, or do you go back far into the past?
I can see.
TechRaptor has an article. We're gonna get a win streak at this rate. BlizzCon 2018, World of Warcraft Classic releases summer 2019. And BlizzCon is clearly probably the best day to play Hearthstone. All the good players at Hearthstone are not paying attention or playing. So the World of Warcraft Classic servers are coming out in 2019.
I must protect the wild.
I think they said it will be a single price, so you will get it if you are a World of Warcraft a subscriber already. Let's see. Yeah, it says here, all players with a World of Warcraft subscription are able to play without any additional fee. I think that's a real smart move, although waiting till summer of 2019 may be too little too late, because people are not happy from what I hear about Battle for Azeroth.
I'll never tell.
I keep running into the same stories. Let's go ahead and play this. That's a little silly to do, but whatever. TechRaptor has an article. Grim Fandango Remastered makes a surprise debut on the Nintendo Switch. So, at this point, nothing really surprises me coming out to the Switch. Like, pretty much everything and anything seems like it is welcome on the Switch. Nintendo has adopted a pretty much excellent policy of we'll take all the games regardless of how quality or age rating or anything like that. And in all honesty, Nintendo probably should have done that for the Wii U or the Wii, or you know, even the GameCube or the Nintendo 64. The Wii, I think, pushed Nintendo in particular in an opposite direction, where they were being very, very careful to make everything family friendly, where Nintendo 64 did definitely have mature games on it, and I'm not sure if there was more than a couple dozen mature rated games on the Wii.
The light protects me.
Go ahead. And let's see how this works.
For the wild.
I'm still not sure you'd want to play Grim Fandango if you haven't played a lot of the other LucasArts games, and I'm not sure you'd really want to play it on the Switch, although maybe it's got some better improved controls with the Switch, or it makes more sense with the Switch. Grim Fandango seemed, when I played it last, to have some pretty awful tank controls in its 3D environment. It was the first 3D LucasArts point-and-click game. Let's see, TechRaptor has a article. Overwatch Reunion Cinematic introduces Hero 29 Ashe, A-S-H-E, and maybe one more, which is really just another one of these Pixar-esque animations. It shows McCree recovering some kind of robot humanoid character in some kind of implication of a getting the band back together style job. What's weird with the cinematic is they showed a lot of people, and I think each of these people are going to be slowly added to the roster, but they only really guaranteed that Ashe, who is this female McCree equivalent, you know, Western lady with a robot arm. So we're getting a win streak. That's good. That's what I figured was going to happen here. Yeah, I really don't care about Overwatch, but yeah, it still seems like it's somewhat being successful. I bet if I was to guess, Overwatch would have at least 3 or 4 more years in it before it started to really slow down, and they thought about shutting it down. Meanwhile, there's plenty of other games that never got any kind of following and was shut down immediately. Battleborn being the probably worst example of that. GameIndustry.biz has an article, Ubisoft removing references to gambling and skulls for the global Rainbow Six Siege release. Skulls, I guess, in an idea of not getting banned in China, in case China ever decides to allow games back again.
Speak your peace.
There's a quote here, these changes will be made in all versions for the game for a quote single global vision. Like Rainbow Six Siege's release feels very weird. Seems long and drawn out, and seems like they're playing for the long game. We have JJ on the chat saying hello. Yeah. Let's keep on playing. I guess the longer Rainbow Six Siege goes on, the less likelihood that a like Tom Clancy Splinter Cell style game would get released, like, or even a Rainbow Six game that had more of a feeling of a single player storyline experience. Gematsu has an article, Steins Gate Elite bonuses, Steins Gate's linear bounded phenograph and 8-bit ADV, Steins Gate trailers, details, and screenshots. So there's been a lot of Steins Gate stuff announced. So Steins Gate linear bounded phenograph is included as a bonus with the PS4 and PC versions of Steins Gate Elite, while the 8-bit ADV Steins Gate is included as a bonus for the Switch version. So it seems like they probably are both videos, if I was to guess. Yeah, that would be my guess. These are just videos and not really games. Or maybe they are games.
I must protect the wild.
A side game of some sort. I'm trying to scroll down and see what it is. It looks like a visual novel. And Steins Gate, I'm pretty sure it was a visual novel, so it looks like it's just more of the same. Let's see. Like, I don't even need to re-roll this half the time. It just works. This deck is really good. It's running a 65% win ratio right now. That's very nice, but I assume I'm going to run into problems eventually. Somebody's going to break the win streak. I'm not going to make it up to legendary. That would be crazy if I did. Let's see. Just play that, I guess. In return. Man, there's a lot of screenshots here for the Steins Gate article. More than Gematsu usually has by a lot. And see, I just scrolled down like for 2 or 3 minutes. And I just reached the 8-bit ADV Steins Gate part of the article. Right, let's see. JJ says, can't wait till next E-Packs. Wonder what hero powers for the new hero classes will be. Oh, I imagine EPAX's expansion. I haven't heard anybody use that phrase before. Almost certainly what the new hero powers for the new hero classes will be. I haven't heard anything about there being new hero classes. That'd be an interesting idea, but it didn't seem like they were interested in doing that.
I fight.
If they were gonna do anything, I would say they need to maintain the same 9 hero classes. Otherwise it would just break the game, because then they'd have to make all kinds of new card sets for new hero classes. That wouldn't make any sense. Let's see. We could do 4 damage here, and then attack here, here, and here, and then in the turn. I wouldn't mind if they kept the same 9 hero classes and then gave you the ability to pick between 2 different hero abilities to start with. That would allow people who say hate the fact that the Warlock draws a card and does 2 damage to itself. They might be able to have an ability that does something different. I'm not sure what the hero ability be. It'd probably be something simple like recruit a demon or recruit a random minion and do 2 damage to yourself still. Let's see, let's do this and this and then this, and let's just see what happens.
For the wilds. Job done.
Yeah, I gotta scroll down here and make sure I'm looking at the chat. JG says, well, Knights of the Frozen Throne hero classes are rotating out, so the new troll expansion, each class will get a new troll. Yeah, it'll be a hero replacement card though, and hero replacement cards are still in the same class though. You're still a druid, you're just not this druid. At least that's how I'm interpreting it. Maybe I'm being pedantic.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm now looking at the 8-bit ADV Steins Gate, and I'm not 100% sure what ADV means in this instance, and it looks like it's a whole NES adventure visual novel type game. And they only have like 3 screenshots of that, where they had tons and tons of screenshots of the other thing. So yeah, if Steins Gate ever becomes popular, oh, man, there he's gonna break the wind.
Your soul shall suffer.
We just shut up and take it. Not even paying attention. Moving on, Gamma Sutra has a survey. It says, the article is, survey, teens spend an average of $184 on video games in a year. That's actually, by how much I was spending when I was a teenager, pretty low. Like I was probably closer to something that was $250, maybe $300. I ideally want to spend $300 on my Steam wish list every year. So I need to cast spells, but I don't know if I come here and do the monster hunting battles, those will count as casting spells. I don't think it will, but let's go ahead and do that anyways. Back to monster hunt. And further we go. Let's see what we were playing. I think we were playing Pirates. I'm gonna take that and just try that out. $184 is still $184 more than most teenagers are earning, except for perhaps through chores. So still pretty good for the video game market. Arguably now, though, that amount of money is being spent on fewer games as games get more expensive. Let's see. They surveyed 8,600 teenagers, and they expect to see an average of 215 $215 by the end of this current year. JJ said, "Not watched Steins Gate, but it seems interesting." There's a couple of visual novels, or there's like one visual novel, and then there was an anime made after it, and then there was another anime after it. It's a horror novel, I think I understand, as far as I understand it, where everything goes wrong, and then in the second anime, the main character manages to go to a different universe, or create a different universe or a different timeline or something to try and stop everything from going wrong, and it seems like everything still goes wrong in a different way. So I get the feel as a person who used to be an anime fan and really doesn't watch any anime because he's too busy. I get the feeling that it was somewhat popular, but not amazingly popular. It wasn't a super breakout hit or anything like that, but there probably, if you did some researches, is some of the multimedia implementations of the Sonic Skate series that are worth playing and or watching, and some of them that aren't. A lot of anime transitions from visual novels make them better, and it's kind of not worth the time to actually play the visual novel part, but sometimes they make them a lot worse. It also depends on whether you're a purist and hyper fan of the visual novel before the anime gets made. That's kind of the number one thing if you're going to be an anime fan, is that you're going to spend a lot of time doing research, or you're just going to jump in blind and potentially not know what's going on, be watching the wrong series, and totally not understand what's going on. The Fate Stay Night series is a great example of that. Let's see. Yeah, JJ says, "Damn, that's deep. Lately, I've been rewatching anime due to not being able to find any new good ones." There definitely has been a shift over the years for me, because I was watching like 80s and 70s anime originally, so now everything is much more moe in the animation style of cute anime girls, where there was a lot less of that in the old days. There's a lot more sci-fi in the old days. You really wouldn't see something like Ghost in the Shell or Akira made and coming out on TV in 2018 in Japan. There's a lot of shows that are cheap and bad, and that was always the case, but in the old days most of the bad shows were never translated and brought to the outside of Japan, now everything comes over to Japan almost at the exact same release time. But the good news is there's definitely a long list of old things to watch, and if you don't have a backlog and you're an anime fan, then you're really not much of an anime fan. Let's see. JJ says, like Evangelion. Yeah, you can go back and try and watch some of Evangelion, but what do you really want to watch there? Do you want to watch the original TV series with the last 3 episodes that nobody really likes, or do you watch the 2 movies that were made to fix the last 3 episodes of the original TV series, or do you watch the complete reboot of the series where you're watching Evangelion 1.1 or what is it, 1.2? But if you get into the new reboot TV series, well, not TV series, they're movies, you still would have to wait to watch it in completion because they haven't released the final movie on it. So the best versions, and there were a lot of different versions by different people. Like the best versions of Neon Genesis Evangelion is to buy DVDs that are long out of print because you can't really get them like new. You'd have to buy them from used, and you'd pay a lot. And Evangelion in particular is a great example of where they won't bring over some of the Japanese collector's editions remakes that they made to the United States because they charge like $200 an episode in Japan, and they're afraid of what they call reverse importation, where if they sold it at a reasonable price in the United States or in the West, anywhere outside of Japan really, for like $60 an episode, which would still be really, really expensive, but better than $200 that they're charging in Japan, they're afraid that the Japanese people would just import those versions and watch it in English, because Japanese people are educated in English well enough to do that. But I'm talking about anime more than video games, so let's try to cover the more relevant and recent video game news. Otherwise I'll talk about anime for a pretty long time. And honestly, I'm not really that informed. After like 15 years ago, 10 years ago, maybe. It's been probably that long since I've actively, passionately been watching anime. I'll watch something every now and then on Netflix, but it's maybe one show a year. And I have DVDs of things that I bought like 10 years ago that are still in the plastic and I haven't watched them. I probably won't ever get around to it, because ever since I started making YouTube videos and trying to make a career out of that has taken up so much time that the idea of sitting down and just taking a break is never a viable option. Moving on, TechRaptor has an article. It says Orphea, O-R-P-H-E-A, is Heroes of the Storm's first original character, and 2019 updates have been announced. Let's see. So, I guess there's really no reason to describe Orphea when I can just do this and show you what she for whatever that is. It really comes down to whether you play Heroes of the Storm. If you're interested in the idea of an original character, I'm not sure that that matters to too many people, because I'm not sure that too many people even play Heroes of the Storm still. See, and I'd certainly cast some spells. Alright. Store 2 health. Draw 2 cards at the beginning of the game. You can use your hero power before each turn. Twice each turn. Costs 1 less. Okay, that might work. I'm watching the Heroes of Storm animation, and it's funny, even compared to, even though this is still Blizzard doing this animation, it doesn't look as good as the animations for Overwatch.
Patton's got a grudge on you, princess.
Let's see. Yeah, and there's really nothing on this trailer in this video to say. This character carries what looks like a coffin on her back, and she seems to have dark vampiric style powers. And it goes on. The story goes on to talk about her abilities and such, but I don't play Heroes of the Storm, so I don't care about it. Let's see. Guess I don't need to deal with Blizzard's website anymore. Let's keep on playing. We don't want to lose momentum here. Job done. GameIndustry.biz has an article, Toby Fox to assemble team for Deltarune. Deltarune is an anagram for the word Undertale, and Deltarune seems to be, at least as it's being depicted right now in its demo form, a slight variation of what the game Undertale was. Do I want another coin? Do I want to use a coin to get a coin? Yeah, I don't see a reason for that. People are really hyped, or at least the mainstream video game media who loved Undertale are very hyped. Honestly, by the time I get around to playing Undertale, I'm not sure I'm going to be super interested in it. But the subtitle for this article is Undertale creator cites increased complexity burnout as factors requiring help for the next title. There's really no reason whatsoever to not hire a team and work with people after you've had success in a small indie game. Now, from what I see on Undertale, I don't feel like that's as complex a game as most games even. So it feels like Toby Fox probably isn't that good of a developer, but he's doing the right thing to ask for help, and he's probably a very good storyteller and story writer, and he should focus on that, and then he should give his ideas to people who can actually program it and possibly animate it, because I'm not 100% sure the Undertale visual style is actually a visual style, not just a limitation of inability to actually animate.
Tess versus Wargarble.
So yeah,
The trail leads here.
he's doing the right thing. Maybe he should just move up to a management, like producer level. in his role. He should just be the ID guy and move on. JJ, make sure you subscribe and all of that. We're here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Okay, next article we have is actually the Hearthstone expansion. TechRaptor, PC gamer leaks next Hearthstone expansion. I stopped listening and looking at PC gamer, so I clearly did not see that article.
Job's done.
Let's see. It's called Rastakhan's Rumble. RASTKHANS apostrophe S. Let's see if I can bring it down to some basics information here, other than just the name. No, this article just says the name and really doesn't say anything more, and I imagine there is more information that is very quickly getting released. It's just a matter of I'm in the middle of streaming instead of seeking out that news source. TechRaptor has another article. The retro first-person shooter Dusk releases December 10th. This is probably more of a hype article than anything else. I haven't heard of Dusk, and I don't know if I want to play a retro first-person shooter. If I was going to, there's probably better ones to play. Like, as I'm doing my Steam wishlist cleanup, I'm looking at things like the Painkiller series and the Postal series, for example, which are retro first-person shooter games that have relevancy and came out in the old days. So I don't know why I would want to play something that's brand new, designed to look like something that's old. I'm not certain I even want to play old games that look old. Let's see. Play this and this and okay. GameIndustry.biz has an assistant producer job listed. Let's see. For I can't even read what. For Playdemic, and it took me to a very different type of page. So I don't know if they are embedding a frame here or what. So Playdemic seems to be a subsidiary of TT Games, the developers of Lego games. So
This guy's toast.
and then do this. And this. Do I have enough to win? Yes, I do.
First kill.
Kill Naias!
Yeah, Playdemic makes mobile games, so they probably are gonna make the mobile phone versions, or maybe, I don't know, Switch versions, maybe, of Lego games. I doubt they're doing anything besides that, though. Alright, we'll leave this now since we've done that part. Let's see. And I need to cast some more spells, and we can do that probably by playing the mage pretty easily. Or you know what we could do? We could play Spell Hunter, and that would work really nice. This is all going to get turned into dust. I like that I'm getting these daily quests that are getting me card packs, but I really wish they'd give me some other kind of card packs. So 5 dust more than the average 50 dust. Yeah, so if I just come over here and play Spell Hunter, not only do I have a good chance of winning, but I will play spells only. TechRaptor has an article, Starlink Battle for Atlas review, Dinosaur Planets. Let's just scroll down real quick and see how they like it, which probably is not at all. I think I heard that it was like one of the worst launches in the Switch's history. If that is truly the case, however, their review does not reflect that. They gave it a 70.5 for very good. Let's see. If you're of a certain age, Starlink Battle for Atlas is an amazing prospect. Really nails the open world formula that Ubisoft has made famous and tones it down for kids. It's just too bad the game doesn't hit the mark whenever it tries to achieve beyond that. Alright, so I need to find some secrets to play. Pros, Star Fox theme, if you play it on Switch, space exploration, and Saturday morning storytelling. Cons, Switch content exclusively, lacking score, I guess that's musical score, underwhelming arsenal, and repetitive mission design. I guess TechRaptor took it from the perspective of a kid's game and decided that it was pretty good because of that. Moving on, TechRaptor has an article, Unleash Your Wild Side with Jill of the Jungle, free on Good Old Games. Jill of the Jungle is an old Pitfall slash just standard platforming game. I remember playing it on my PC. It kind of had this feel like you might be getting to see some nudity or something in it, but I don't think there actually was. But a lot of covers and pictures on the front of PC games were designed to feel like they were way more, selling a lot more than what they really were. It was one of Epic's earliest franchises, so it does kind of have some relevancy. And see, there's 3 games: Jill of the Jungle, Jill Goes Underground, and Jill Saves the Prince. What's weird here is that inherently tells you that when this game came out, people were cool with a female protagonist. So the question kind of becomes, when did it get decided that female protagonists were not gonna sell games? I wouldn't be surprised if it really was just a sentiment from a lot of Japanese companies. Let's see, I'm on Good Old Games, and I'm trying to see how I could
to my web.
Get the picture to change. There you go, I had to zoom out a little bit. Honestly, though, Jill of the Jungle probably was not a very good game. I'm pretty sure it wasn't. It looks like garbage by modern standards. There really should be a remake or something. And there should have been one a long time ago. For all these video game companies that want to support women, you think it would be pretty easy to say, hey, we have this series that we did a long time ago. Let's bring that back and have a female protagonist. Let's see, moving on. Come on, load page. TechRaptor has an article, Steam Watch - Steam developer called out by community for stealing games. And then I'm seeing a picture of a game called Prison Break, a game called Inside, a game called It's Good to Be a Pirate, a game called Suzuka Fly, or a game called, I think, Lost and Found. Let's see. Track. Guess we'll take this and this and this and do that. So Steam developer Garnudo Games, Garnudo, has become the center of attention for some community members. Garnudo Games' title It's Good to Be a Pirate RPG was first of Garnudo Games' titles to be called out by the Steam community and the supposed original developer as being stolen from RPGmaker.net. I wonder how many. I didn't even know that games got posted to RPGmaker.net, but I wonder how many of those RPG Maker games on Steam are literally stolen. That would make so much sense as to why so many come out on Steam. The allegations stemmed from the Steam Community Hub discussion created by Steam user Gray007, in which Gray alleged the game was making use of stolen assets from Square Enix's Lufia 2, with users citing similarities in the environmental designs of the games. The thread currently lacks any form of response from Garnudo Games. However, a Steam user by the name of Rabbit entered the thread claiming that the game posted to Steam by Garnudo Games was in fact their own game that Garnudo had lifted from the site RPGmaker.net. See, now inherently this could just be a troll claim. It could all be false. That is a possibility. I guess what a story like this needs to have is for everybody to see what happens in a few days with Valve, if Valve addresses it. There's a quote here that's a long paragraph of the character the user named Rabbit stating it's like, this guy is a fraud trying to sell work of third parties. I am the creator of this game, and yes, it contains rips of Lufia tile set. Good notice on that. This was a very old game I created on RPG Maker just for fun. This game was not to be sold in the first place. It was made for the RPG Maker community as freeware and fun spare time project. So the original creator is admitting that he stole the art that's in the game. So it's like a theft of a theft almost. Well, pretty much. Three minions from your deck, they attack enemy minions and die. If I was to do that, actually nothing would happen because I don't have any minions in my deck. Let's see. So there's more people coming on and claiming that these games are stolen. And then there's more games. See, but the problem with this TechRaptor article is until we get Valve to take any action, the story just sits here with a lot of people alleging these games are stolen. They probably are. The thing about this developer, I know he was a troll developer in the first place, though. Like, I've been looking at the games he's been releasing, and he's not been releasing good quality products. See, I need to just play 5 more spells. So there's really 2 different reasons. Even if you can't prove he stole anything, there's still a pretty good reason to kick him off Steam just for his very low effort games. And I know Valve doesn't want to just be the curator of quality, but when you're releasing, everything you've released is so terrible and so obviously bad. There needs to be some level of standard. I think it's not unfair, in my opinion, for a storefront to curate what they put on their shelves, unless they're curating because of something I don't agree with. is about what all I can say there. Yeah.
I hunt alone.
Moving on to another story, Gamatsu has an article, Hitman Absolution and Blood Money have been rated for the PS4 and Xbox One in Europe. So, that's a little strange that the old Hitman games have been rated. I guess they're coming back as backwards compatible. Let's see.
I hunt alone.
Keep on that turning. Matsu has another article, Forgotten Anne for the Switch launches November 9th. Still want to play Forgotten Anne, haven't gotten around to it. And 2018 has been, like most years, there is a long list of games I'd like to play brand new, but I don't get around to it. But 2018 has been particularly painful because of just how many games have actually come out. Apparently my deck has some minions. No, it doesn't. It's just this can't be played right now.
To my side. I hunt alone.
Gamatsu has another article. Jake Hunter detective story Prism of Eyes has been rated under its English name in Korea, which I assume means that it will just be in English in Korea. The rating suggests that an English version of Tantai Saburo Jingjuji Prism of Eyes is currently in production. The game first launched for the PS4 and Switch in Japan in August. So yes, it seems like if that is a indication at least that there will be an English version. That doesn't inherently mean, though, that the English version is for the West. English versions are often released across the Asias, since so many different Asian countries have different languages, and most can speak English as a common language.
It's harvest time.
Gamatsu has another article, 7 Scarlet, that's 7 apostrophe Scarlet, rated for the PC in Korea. It's another Idea Factory developed otome visual novel coming to the PC. So, I've been looking at quite a few Idea Factory visual novels that are on Steam and on my wish list. And I think Idea Factory does a somewhat decent job in what they make and release. Not always the best of the best, but I don't think they usually come out with total garbage either. And I'm still not 100% sure what otome means, but it's probably, from the screenshot, a girl dating a bunch of guys in a dating simulator, because I'm seeing a picture of one girl and several guys at a cookout. Let's see. Do we want to play another weapon? Not yet. TechRaptor has an article. New Sakura Wars slips out of fiscal year 2019 release window. So, nearly half, it feels like, of the games that were announced earlier this year at the Tokyo Game Show actually are meeting the time that they said they were coming out. That's not super surprising. I don't know why the Japanese even bother to say there is a release window, because they do the right thing, whereas Western companies will just rush out of the game and make their employees work way too hard and crunch. They do the right thing and delay things, but generally speaking, Japanese companies cause their employees to always work way too hard and crunch, so that problem isn't actually totally fixed either. Do that.
Job's done.
Let's see. TechRaptor has another article. Little Dragon's Cafe expands its menu to PC. So, the game Little Dragon's Cafe is coming to Steam on November 15th. I'm not 100% sure. I want to play any game where it sounds like you're doing just a regular job. The idea of running a cafe that also has dragons in it is slightly interesting. Feels like it might be similar to a Animal Crossing style game. The graphics for this game, as I'm looking at the trailer, are a little polygonal, but then they have a unique textured art style to them. But now I'm seeing some gameplay mechanics where you're just doing a matching game. Yeah, I don't think you do anything other than cook. It's kind of looks like it's a Stardew Valley type game mixed in with something like Dinner Dash or Diner Dash. Yeah, I'm not 100% sold. I want to play Little Dragon's Cafe, but we'll see. We'll see when it actually comes out. Play this and this. That. And it's not attack. TechRaptor has another article. Valve updates Proton in 3.16-4 beta. Soul Calibur 6 bans potentially have been fixed. So this is kind of a follow-up of the problem where people who were using Proton to run Windows games in Linux and were playing Soul Calibur 6 were getting banned, and they weren't just getting disallowed from playing online when they were running it on Linux. Their entire account was getting banned, and I'm not 100% sure that this that was ever really addressed or fixed. Not sure if any of those people got unbanned ever. Let's see. Do this. We could play cards. Do I need to play cards? Moving on, TechRaptor has an article. Sega Ages Phantasy Star comes west later this month. You may notice that I haven't been talking about any games that came out on Steam. There are some that came out on Steam, but they kind of were yesterday. I think we may have already hit the weekend where Valve is just not going to approve games. See, I'm looking at the Sega Ages Fantasy.
Access denied.
Yeah, this is just another really old Sega game that they're clinging to the rest. Yep. What is it coming out on is the question. Though. Apparently it's coming to consoles? Some consoles?
I wonder.
Switch apparently is what TechRaptor thinks it's coming out on. I bet it comes to Steam too. Right. How are we gonna do this? We play this, and then do this. And we do this. Do that.
Quickly, I
We attack here. And return. Alright, first game on Steam today. We have another hardcore game, which looks like a very low effort game. I guess you'd call it a platformer. It looks like total garbage. And it's $1.99. See, even if this was like a joke game, and there was reasons for this, like I kind of don't believe it. Yeah, this is one of those games that's a rage quit game designed to make you die over and over again. Right.
I hunt alone.
Here. Play this. Do a bunch of spells. Misdirect.
Job's done.
In the turn. GameIndustry.biz has an article, Zynga investing in Harry Potter and Game of Thrones titles. Both licenses will be casual mobile experiences to be developed by the company's US studios. So Zynga has fallen to the levels of Telltale of not being able to make its own original IP games. Oh wow, I suppose. We've got a game on Steam called Coffee Biz that looks like a simplistic simulator. Well, that's not simplistic, certainly. That looks like a mess. They want $6.99 for that game. Again, I doubt I'm gonna find anything that is even yeah, I seriously doubt I'm gonna find anything that is even worth putting on the follow list or the wish list today. We've got a game on Steam that's already mostly negative called SOS Survival. Looks like it's probably an asset flip game, if I was to guess. $15.99 with in-game items.
Magic neutralized.
Yep. I don't think I need to go any further on that. I'm gonna be a little prejudiced and just prejudge that game without even doing a lot of research. You gonna play or what? Yeah, hit that guy.
Oh, I love that fuse thing.
Okay. 4 wolves. Deal 5 damage and 2 to the adjacent.
That's not a valid target.
I'm gonna lose here, but I played enough spell cards, that's all that really mattered. We have a game on Steam called Subscribe and Punch. which looks like a 2D fighter. This looks relatively good enough to be put on the follow list. Like maybe. Yeah, it's free too, so the price is good. I'm gonna have to make a decision, I guess, on free games on the follow list. Like, I don't know how that's gonna work. I mean, are free games that have a certain number of positive reviews just going to automatically be allowed? Or am I going to do something different? Well, speaking of doing something different, we've been going for an hour and 30 minutes. I think I should break up this recording and make a second recording. For the past week, I've been mostly trying to do quick 2-hour single episodes streams. I think we've got enough news, honestly, and enough to do with the European and Asian account where that doesn't make a lot of sense. So that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me, you can support me through Patreon or by gifting me a game on Steam. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.
The tavern's always open.
Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to another recording of Hearthstone. Today is Friday, November 2nd, and the BlizzCon is happening, so we're getting free cards. And it looks like we got the same free cards on every account, which is, I guess, fine. We'll trade this out, and then so we've got a priest, and 20 turns is all we've got to do. Well, on the European account, I want to double check the Tavern Ball stuff has been done. Come over here and disenchant all but one of those cards that we had. Then we'll look at the new ones. Well, actually that would be disenchanting a bunch of cards that we must have gotten from a different pack. So I could disenchant this for some more dust. We're over 1600. I can't disenchant this because then I would... There's really no reason to do that. But we might be able to disenchant this for more dust too. We've heard leaks of the new expansion. I wouldn't be surprised if the new expansion comes out in like the next 3 weeks or even shorter. We're just gonna play priest. If that is true, then I'll be in a moderately good position to rebuild all my decks and make them a little bit better according to the website and the Hearthstone deck tracker. What is it? And we could see potentially a slightly higher win ratio, which would be cool, because we have been seeing higher win ratios. We've been getting a little bit further along, but we still are definitely running into issues of not getting much above rank 17 at best. Let's see. We want to cover the news. This will probably be this is the second recording. It'll probably be the last recording too for the day. We've got a game on Steam called Webb VR, the James Webb Space Telescope Experience. This seems like this is probably an educational real thing. It doesn't seem like there's a troll or a joke going on here. It doesn't look amazingly good, but it's free, so there's something to be said there. I almost want to put this on my follow list, but I don't know how I'm going to do that now. I guess I just am going to continue to have the few suggested good VR games stay on the follow list, and then when I do the 2019 end of the year follow list cleanup, I'll just leave the VR games where they are, or remove them if they no longer seem worth the time.
I wonder.
I'll never tell.
Next we have a game on Steam called Lost Letters of Seraphina. It looks like it's a visual novel, but they're saying it's a walking simulator. This doesn't look too bad. It's $6.79 right now, discounted. I guess I'll leave it on the wish list or the follow list. We'll see what happens.
What is my purpose?
Right away.
Okay.
I comply.
Play it.
Job's done.
The problem with a lot of walking simulators is it's hard to tell what content is good and what content is bad, because there's very little difference and there's very little content in the first place. Let's see. Moving on, Komatsu has an article. Nico Para Volume 1 for PS4 removes setting and increases more Steam, so PS4 releases are still getting crazy censored. This is a growing story of just the demands of the new Sony, I suppose, is what you'd call it. Swap this attack with another minions. Double health. Kinda just wanna hold on. So I'm gonna attack here and then heal this. And then in the turn. I'm gonna try and grow this to a very big character. So the setting that's disappeared for the PlayStation 4 is translated into English as chest bounciness. So boob jiggle. Nico Para looks like it's a visual novel with cat girls. Cat girls still in that moe style. I'm looking at some comparisons where there was the default self-censorship of two cat girls in the bathtub, one scrubbing the other's back, which is a typical thing in Japanese anime society, I'm sure. It's a more of a symbol of closeness than sexuality. But Japan was already doing their own self-censorship there, so there already was Steam bright lights that a lot of Japanese content is like that. But then the PlayStation version just took a white eraser basically to the picture and put much more censorship over it. It really goes from it's kind of ridiculous, because it's like on the Switch version, it's like, yes, we're not gonna show you nipples, and then the PlayStation 4 version is like, no, we're not gonna let you know that breasts exist at all. It really is trying to cover every single bit of the breast. No cleavage, nothing. It's insanely puritanical. Let's see.
I comply.
And then Gematsu puts the change.org petition link to reference that. I kind of wonder if it's just going to get straight to the point. Either Sony is going to step down on this policy and realize, look, this is just not going to work, or they're going to get to a point where they say straight up, we just don't want those type of games on our console at all. Which maybe they very well just come out and say we just don't want those type of games at all. Speaking of games that maybe nobody wants on their console, we have on Steam 2048. There's already a game called The 2048. Says it's the original made better. I have footage that's gonna air this month covering the game The 2048, and this seems like it's just another attempt at it. $4.49 is really expensive for a game like this. And for the look at this developer, they haven't developed anything else. And if I was to click these other two names, I'm fairly certain neither one of them would have developed anything. I would definitely suggest you play The 2048 over 2048. But I don't know why you play either one of them actually on Steam. And even if you were gonna play them, definitely don't pay $4.49 for them. Let's see.
Is someone injured?
Draw a card.
Is someone
Draw another
injured?
card.
I comply.
Run away!
There we go. In the turn. So yeah, I'm not gonna put 2048 on my fall list. I don't have any reason why I'd ever want to play another 2048 game. I showed off one on my channel, or I'm going to show off one on my channel, and I think that's more than enough. Moving on, Gematsu has an article, Dragon Ball Fighter Z shipments and digital sales top 3.5 million. So the game is still going strong, which is cool. Maybe a little surprising. Let's see. We have a game on Steam called The Land of the Seazogs, which looks like a pretty ugly game.
I wonder.
The CGA style graphics. Not sure I want to play something this ugly.
Quickly.
Really, I'm not sure. 10% off for $5.39. I'll watch this trailer and see if maybe there's something in there that interests me, but I doubt it. 2 damage to all our minions, that wouldn't be great. Let's heal this. Play this.
Pain, speak to me.
Right away.
Do we want to, like, what can we do?
Run away!
We can kill something like this. We can attack with this. And of course that's an explosive trap. So we can play this. And we can play this.
Right away. Right away.
And we can attack all this. Yeah, I see nothing here as far as the Land of Seazogs that would make me want to put that on the follow list. Maybe I should just call it the list. I may just revert to referring to it as the wish list, even though it technically is the follow wish list. Alright, we're looking for victories and we didn't get victories. Is there another priest we could play? No. We kind of need victories. Next we have a game on Steam called Sinister Halloween. Seems like it's got some dark screenshot syndrome quite a bit. Says it's an adventure game. I would say it's probably an asset flip game. Asset flip horror game. Early access for $9.99. And I think it requires VR too. I'll watch the trailer, but I seriously doubt this one's gonna be one that makes it to the list. And I guess this game, even though it came out on Halloween Day, it's already too late. It's like, who's gonna buy a Halloween themed game on Halloween? Are you really getting sales that way? I don't think so. Right. Let's see if we did this. Okay, that'll work. Plus 2 double. Yeah, I cannot see a single thing in this trailer. Even if this is like an amazingly good looking horror game, I couldn't tell you. It's just so dark. So dark. Let's do this.
What is my purpose?
Turn. TechRaptor has an article. Updated. Konami didn't patch PT to fail. There was a rumor going on that Konami was doing something that caused PT, the playable teaser, to fail. The update says we've received word back from Konami and they did not patch PT to become unplayable according to PR. I wonder if maybe the name change beta that's going on PlayStation might be a factor there. It very possibly could be.
I comply.
As quote, after our investigations we can confirm that there has been no Konami or PlayStation Network update that would have affected or prevented access to the game. If you still want to keep your copy of PT safe, you can check out the directions below. Now, there is this thing where you can't you can't like download it anymore. That's definitely true as far as PT. I could have played this first, but instead I'll just do this and then do this and then do that. So basically, if you want to keep PT working, you basically have to make sure your your PS4 that still has it installed is not connected to the internet, and then transfer it to a hard drive, and then basically never plug it back into the internet again. There is certainly a certain amount of issue with PT because real preservationists, people working on behalf of a museum or such, are going to have to basically crack the game and make sure they can keep it running forever. They're gonna probably have to crack the PlayStation 4. They're probably gonna have to crack the game. But yeah, that was a rumor. As far as TechRaptor is concerned, I've seen similar things said elsewhere. Next, we have a game on Steam called Block Dock, which is a low-effort Arkanoid game, although slightly interesting idea of playing two-player here, it seems, or something. Looks like maybe you're playing against an AI that's trying to break your own bricks, which is a slightly interesting idea. Instead of just losing when a ball gets past the paddle, you have a chance of it bouncing back. If this game had more polish, I'd be willing to put it on the list, but it doesn't, so it's not. Okay, we need 2 more victories. If we could get 1 quick victory, that'd be great. Next, we have a game on Steam called Dr. Green Stuff, which is a weed growing simulation, if I ever saw one. I don't know why you would name your game that. This was probably a pretty low effort asset flip too, for $12.99. I really don't know how Steam would or how YouTube would respond if I tried to cover a game like that. Like, maybe they'd be really cool with it and not care, or maybe YouTube would just demonetize all of it, or maybe it'd be a community guideline strike. And like, seems a little risky for what is effectively mostly a joke game. Moving on, Gamasutra has an article, profits down at Sega despite upswing in packaged game sales. So yeah, Sega's not doing that good. I guess inherently I'm gonna start muting this guy immediately. He's annoying. You run into a problem definitely where Sega's not the best of the best when it comes to game developers. They only have really Sonic, and half the Sonic games are bad, if not most of the Sonic games are bad. They may have a few other things under their title, but it's not a lot. Double. And then that.
Is someone injured?
Moving on, we have a GameIndustry.biz article. Junichi Masuda is likely stepping away from the director role on future Pokemon games. After Let's Go series, Masuda to allow, quote, younger generation to steer the series. Which, okay. Probably not going to change much, in all honesty. If I was to guess, the series will still do the general things that Pokemon games have always done.
Right away.
I thought about it. There's this game called Ooblets that's in development where the Pokemon-esque characters seem to dance battle sometimes instead of actually fight. It would be a lot of work, but it would be kind of unsurprising, I suppose, if Nintendo decided to remove the fighting element in the in the Pokemon series anyways. Because yeah, I could see a way to do that. You could set it to 100 years in the future, 1,000 years in the future, and the Pokemon could all be pacifists at that point, and all the Pokemon trainers could be pacifists. Because Pokemon always was dogfighting the kids' game. That's basically what it is. It just was a simplistic idea at the beginning of the series that they've gotten stuck with. Alright, let's draw some more cards. Okay, let's see. We can double this one's health. We can give him +2/+2 and return to our hand. And we could swap.
Bring the pain.
Right away.
Bring the pain.
So yeah, I screwed that up. Moving on, GameIndustry.biz has an article. Amazon Digital Games Dan Winters dies at 55. The head of business development at Amazon Digital Games, I suppose, passed away due to cancer. So we had a couple of people this week die. People are just getting older, certainly. And it's questionable. I wonder if that's a bigger issue in general in the United States. It very well might be, where there's just a very old generation that is still working when they probably ideally should be retired, and the younger generation should have taken over, but nobody can afford to retire. Lemon Lover's on the chat saying, hey Lemon Lover. GameIndustry.biz has a article. Swiss studio wins Universal Game Dev contest. G Banga was awarded $150,000 and a 1-year consulting contract with Universal for Voltron Cubes of Olcarion. So apparently they're going to be making a Voltron video game. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not that intense of a game. Okay, what can I do? I could silence everybody and draw a card. I could play this. I can attack here. I can attack here. I can end the turn. TechRaptor has an article. Netflix reveals first look at Cavill's Geralt and Witcher's additional cast. I guess that's Henry Cavill, not Cavill. So there is slightly something weird, I I feel with the Geralt, I don't think they have the scar above his eye. I don't think he has enough scars on his face in general. I think also his complexion is maybe a little too pale. His hair is maybe a little too not ratty enough. I haven't played well, I haven't played it in a while though, so I could be a little off on this. 3 damage to all other minions. Just 2 damage and heal. Play that.
Like to play with fire. Beware the shadow.
Let's see. I think I can win next time. And then the rest of the pictures of other characters are just pictures of the actors, headshots of the actors. I think there's way too much talk happening with Netflix's character choices. I think once post-production happens, it's not gonna really matter at all. Like the bigger thing that people should be concerned about is the fact that this is Netflix doing this, and they could totally ruin this. And don't forget that Netflix made Death Note live action and Bleach live action movies, and both of those were pretty atrocious. I feel like there's a good chance that's exactly what's going to be with The Witcher 2. Maybe they're going to put more money into it, but it's really just, in my mind, something people should not worry about until it comes out and we see it. That's the beauty of Netflix too, is that instead of getting hyped and going and seeing movies or watching TV by a schedule, you just wait until the entire series is on Netflix or the movie's on Netflix. You watch it and then you're done. If you enjoyed it, good. If you didn't enjoy it, fine. I did enjoy The Haunting of Hill House on Netflix. I think more people should be talking about that. Gamasutra also has an obituary for Dan Winters. So it says obituary, Amazon Digital Games Biz Dev Boss Dan Winters passes at 55. It's just a short paragraph. That the mainstream video game journalists need to start writing, pre-writing people's obituaries. I don't think that they're doing that like most news stations do, where they have obituaries already written up and they just add to the bottom of it if like the day they die and if they've done anything new. Moving on, Gamasutra has an article. Here's your first look at one of Telltale's final projects. So what it is the Minecraft story mode for Netflix, and it seems like you control it with like a Wiimote, or maybe just by pressing forward or back with the scrolling ability, like to fast forward or go backwards, which arguably that ability, based depending on which system you're using that on, isn't always the smoothest. If you have an old smart TV, fast forwarding and rewinding can be very slow and a mess. If you have a good smart TV or a good separate device, it's alright. This article really is just here to show off 2 screenshots, and that's kind of it. And theoretically, if this is leaked information, and leaked information cost Telltale $1 million before, is this once again costing Telltale $1 million? Like, can they just not get away from getting more and more fines? Which I still have no idea why you'd actually pay that. But yeah, if Netflix is that serious about leaks, why is there another leak? Let's see. Moving on, TechRaptor has an article, Claustrophobic 1643 rises from the catacombs on November 6th. This is a new game that we probably don't need to talk about. Oh, it's not even a video game, it's a board game. Alright, well, I definitely don't need to talk about the board game. GameIndustry.biz has an article, Dapper Labs secures $15 million investment. CryptoKitties developer will use funds to open a U.S. subsidiary led by the former Disney and Unity executives. Like CryptoKitties, that does not sound like a company I would invest in. That's... I'm trying to see what execs are what former Unity and Disney execs are working with them. But it doesn't seem like it's getting listed here. They're just unnamed execs from Unity and Disney. Do I hold on to the card or do I play this?
Beware the shadow.
Let's see. I would need probably 3 more cards before I could play this and get a decent amount of health off that character. Gamer Sutra has an article, Get a Job. Digital Extremes is seeking a build/indie creation programmer. That's in London, Ontario, Canada. If you're interested. See, and I think but we're gonna run out of games to talk about, and then
Let's see.
I'm gonna probably just want to wrap up a little bit and go into like a silent post show. Unless I get really lucky, win this game, which there's a chance, and that gets all 3 of the daily quests for the European account done, then we can go over to the Asian account and get really lucky on the Asian account. I don't feel like that's likely to happen, though. So wait until the 8th turn, I suppose, and just play this. Then we could do that, and then we could do this. Gamer Sutra has an article, Mixer introduces new monetization for streamers. This is interesting to me, certainly as a YouTuber. Mixer is introducing new ways for streamers to monetize and strengthen their communities, beginning with what the live streaming platform is calling Season 2. With the introduction of Seasons, Mixer seems poised to bring new features to the live streaming platform more frequently in the future. For now, the live streaming platform seems to be focused on introducing paid currency. As detailed in a press release, Season 2 features new videos capabilities for streaming and viewing, focused on 3 features. Expression, supporting creators through new monetization, and strengthening streamer communities. Skills are a new form of expression for viewers to participate in chat, ranging from sharing GIFs to launching celebratory effects like fireworks. Most notably, however, every time a viewer uses a skill in a partner channel, it supports them financially. Yeah. I don't know how many people are gonna fall for this kind of stuff. Right, that's a 5. If I give this +2 and then an attack changed it, maybe. maybe that would work.
Is someone injured?
Probably should have played this, so I had a backup.
My hand overflows.
Let's see. In a similar vein, a new feature called Sparks are earned by watching streams, which viewers can then spend on skills to help partnered streamers reach milestones that will give them real money payouts. Now, this phrase, partnered streamers, tells me that it feels like it is going to be the 1% on Mixer like it is everywhere else, and most people will not have the opportunity to ever be partnered. Let's do this. And attack.
Right away.
Attack. And heal. And play.
Job's done.
And the turn. Mixer is also introducing Embers, a type of virtual currency that can be bought and used on high value skills. So it's like 3 different currencies to hide the fact that you're spending money. It's like, oh yeah, buy some Embers so you can then get some Sparks so you can then use some skills to pay these people. Skills and Sparks are available on Mixer today, while Ember is slated for implementation sometime in 2019. Like, I would think Mixer would be a lot smarter if they were just trying to get a viewer base and getting people to use the service. Like, for as much as people hate YouTube, it should be easier to convince people to stop watching it or stop using it. That's not really the case.
Job's done.
We have a game on Steam called Hover. It looks pretty interesting. Looks like it might be a Jet Set Radio style game or clone. It says it's single player, but it seems to imply it's mostly for multiplayer gameplay. I'm gonna put this on the fall list and keep an eye on it. Although I don't know why I'm even doing that. It came out in 2017. It already has tons of positive reviews. I should just put it on the wish list. I need this, and we can do this. Sure. I'm sure they'll love that. And double that. And play this. And attack. I don't know where that came from. Why Hover is even open. One thing that interests me is about the Minecraft story mode, as I'm looking at another article about it, is it going to use the same voice acting? Yes, it does say the series will utilize the voice talents of Sean Astin, Patton Oswalt, and Catherine Tabor. So, if it's like the previous game, you're going to have the opportunity to play as a male or female character, and if you play as a female character, you won't hear Patton Oswalt, and I imagine you won't hear Catherine Tabor if you play as a male character. So it kind of sucks. You have to pick whose voice acting you want to listen to. It's a bad waste of funds. It's kind of no wonder that Telltale went out of business when you think about that. We paid a voice actor who will never be heard. Gematsu has an article. The Opus collection has been announced for Switch. This includes The Day We Found Earth and The Rocket of Whispers. I believe both of the Opus games are point-and-click adventure games. They're on my wish list, surprisingly, so I have seen them recently. But to be fair, I'm starting to forget the games I've seen on my wish list because I've seen so many. It's way too long. It really is. And it's a good thing I'm cleaning it up, because it's going to consistently be a problem. And yeah, I will say, as I'm doing the end of the year wishlist cleanup videos that will air in December, I'm feeling a little bit vulnerable, because there is just a lot of anime sex games on the wishlist. There really is. And I'm not being prudish about leaving them on the wish list either, so but I guess that's the thing. This is probably my only opportunity in which I'd ever get to show off those games, is just to show them off on their Steam page and talk about them there. I probably couldn't cover them. If I do have to cover them, I'd have to censor them. There's a lot of games that are tagged with sexual content and nudity, but the extent of that can range widely. It could be all the time. It could be there's one scene in the entirety of the game. And what do we need? Need victories. We need one more priest victory. Come on, give me an easy priest victory. But yeah, I am feeling a little vulnerable, because I feel like trolls or people might come on the video and just put nasty things on the comments down below. But I can deal with it, certainly. I'm an adult.
I must protect Bovine.
Moving on, Gamma Sutra has an article. TI Media donates 1.3 million as an apology for leaking internal Take-Two documents. That is the parent company of the online video game publication Trusted Reviews. And I don't know how. One would assume they came to an agreement that that's how they would apologize, and they didn't do it on their own. Yeah, 1.3 million to charities chosen by Take-Two Games as an apology for using a quote confidential corporate document obtained by the site as a source for an article. Like, that's just news, though. And just because a business puts something confidential, marks it confidential, that's not inherently illegal unless it's a government contractor. If it's confidential or classified by the US government, then it's illegal, but or top secret or something like that. But if it just says confidential and it's some video game company, that's just news reporting. There's a quote here. Take-Two doubles down on its reaction to the leaks, noting that, quote, that it takes security seriously and will take legal action against people or publications who leak confidential information. They can try all they want. They're not going to get anywhere with it. But I guess the news source just did not want to bother with a lawsuit. But that is really scary, that a Variety would be more willing to kowtow to a legal threat from a video game company. What other news sources are refusing to print information for fear of lawsuits, frivolous lawsuits?
What is my purpose?
And do this. And let's see, in the turn. TechRaptor has an article, TechRaptor's spooky games to play on Halloween. So this is a list of games that they're probably just promoting. It's Sunless Sea, Dreadout, from the Humble Store. I have no mouth and I must scream. I'm not sure about Dreadout. I'm not sure I've seen that one. Call of Duty Zombie series. Perception. Apparently. They have a screenshot of Perception. Luigi's Mansion. And September 1999. So there's a couple of games here I haven't heard of, so I'm going to look them up and maybe add them to my follow list or wish list, depending on if they're older. But they're not even linking to the games in this article, so that's pretty unhelpful. Alright.
Is someone injured? Is someone injured?
And this. Let's see.
I comply.
Attack here. And in the turn.
Not too quickly.
TechRaptor has an article, The Odd and Indescribable Self-Portrait Interior. This is talking about a game called Self-Portrait Interior. It looks very weird. It's an itch.io game. I'll double check to see if maybe it's on Steam, but it looks very weird as far as the game. I don't know if while I do like playing weirdo games, I don't know if I'm specifically seeking to play a game just because it is weird. 20 and then
I comply.
Kill this guy.
Right away.
In the turn. TechRaptor has another article, enjoying the simple brutality of Aztez. Another game that looks interesting. I think I'm falling down a path here where I'm looking at games that are new. Aztez, it does say, is on Steam though, so. Man. I don't have a lot of games though that I'm adding to the wish list. Just probably more than there should be. Here. And play that. And let's just go ahead and play that while we're doing that. To make sure. That gets 21.
Right away.
That's 1. And then your turn. TechRaptor has an article introducing a month of coverage club, so it seems like for the entire month they're going to release coverage club articles of them covering games, which I guess is sort of like what I'm doing for November. Alright.
I comply.
Take that victory. Gamasutra has an article, Here They Lie, on the ethics of VR horror games. Or the ethics of VR horror. Guess at this point we could play Odd Paladin and see if we can get a quick victory. Although I switched back to rank, so that'll probably be difficult.
Uther versus Gul'dan.
I'm not sure what this article is really
Your soul
getting
shall
at.
be mine. I will fight with honor.
It's talking about game development of VR horror games, I suppose, is what this article is about. It is a Gamasutra article, so that would make sense. Let's see. Let's try to replace those three. GameIndustry.biz has an article, Brexit will cause, quote, serious harm to the UK game industry. White paper for games for EU suggests consumers will take financial hit while industry suffers, quote, brain drain and cultural diminishment. So you can read that article if you want. I don't know if there are too many people that are happy with Brexit, and yet it still seems like it's going forward.
Reporting for duty.
Let's see. Gamma Sutra. We already talked about Telltale's Netflix Minecraft mode. They keep running into the same articles. Let's see if I play this. What can I do? If I control no other minions, I can play that. Probably should just wait.
Reporting for duty.
Gematsu has an article, Robotics, semicolon Notes Dash, an Elite HD Devil Pack for the PS4 and Switch launches January 31st in Japan. So that's Robotics Notes with the subtitle Dash, and then Robotics Notes with the subtitle Elite HD. These look like two visual novels. Yep, they're visual novels. More visual novels coming. A little unsurprising, certainly. But they keep coming.
Reporting for duty.
Trying to figure out what the strategy here is. Gematsu has an article, Yumi Nico, that's U-M-I-N-E-K-O, When They Cry, quote, a gold edition Kickstarter campaign set for November 7th. I've heard the phrase when they cry, so I'm fairly certain that this is a pretty well known, I guess it's a visual novel game. Yeah, it's a visual novel game. Like, these names certainly do sound familiar sometimes, probably because they have since been made into movies or something else that I recognize, or slightly recognize. Well, still not really sure what I'm doing, so I'm just gonna end the turn. I'm watching the trailer for Yumi Nico When They Cry. Looks like it's a horrific murder story. One would guess that's the case. Yep. From best I can tell from the trailer, it's a murder type story. Next we have the... Let's see, let's play over here. What can we do? Give our minions.
Protocol 7 engaged.
+1 attack. Next we have on Steam the Blackout Club. I may have already talked about this. This is early access, but it's already gotten some coverage. So I don't really think that I could leave it off the follow list. I'll wait and see what how many people say something. It honestly doesn't look that interesting to me. Once it comes out of early access, then I might be more interested in it. Not sure that there really is a single player storyline experience here, or if it's really just more of a randomized game experience. Right. This.
Access denied.
This.
Access denied.
Attack that.
The battle.
And that. And the turn.
This one will prove very useful. Probably.
Oh, all of these games here are games that were already supposed to be on my follow list. So we have Save Me Mr. Taco, Takasuke Taco-san here. This was already supposed to be on my follow list from the last stream. I never got around to adding these two to the follow list. We have Design Hero, which is a little bit more questionable, but I was gonna keep an eye on it. Let's do that.
The battle.
And
This one will
what else did we
very
have?
useful.
Project Hospital. I'm hearing something from the audio of Hearthstone. It's playing like the wrong sound file very quietly in the background. It sounds like it's playing one of the warriors' sound lines, but this is the warlock and this is the paladin. Maybe it's one of these minions that I'm hearing. Alright, let's do that. And then play that.
I don't need any of you. The battle! The battle!
Yeah, I could have probably won had I played this instead. Yeah, no, I totally could have won had I played that.
Demons are hard to find.
I also have a game called Damon 9 that I was gonna put on the follow list. And what are the other ones? Phantom Halls that I was gonna put on the follow list. I think that actually did make it to the follow list somehow.
I wonder.
And then this one called The One We Found, which I'm not 100% sure if this deserves to be on the follow list, but okay. Maybe I was being generous. And then the last one I have is Call of Cthulhu. So that puts us in a weird position now where I guess we are ready to do a silent post show because I don't have anything else to talk about. I didn't see any new What's on Steam games. So yeah. Either Steam didn't allow any games to come out today, which is a possibility, but unlikely, or What's on Steam is just broken. Okay, how are we gonna do this? Do this.
For justice.
We'll do that. And then
The battle.
do that.
For me. The battle.
There's a game that came out 27 minutes ago. Hearthstone has its own website called restackhandsrumble.com. I'll retweet the tweet from Hearthstone. So if you follow me on Twitter, you'll be able to see that. Probably if you follow me on Facebook too. Okay. So where does that leave us now? These are all done. Let's just quickly hop into the Asian account. And then I think I'm gonna just wrap it up. Like I could cover these new games that I'm seeing, but honestly I think there's only about 5 of them that are gonna actually be new. Yeah, it looks like I'm probably back to where I was before. Yeah, you get the exact same cards each expansion. So, Paladin, Mage, Shaman, Druid, Rogue. Who do I probably want to play with the least? Probably Druid, Rogue. So, Warlock, Shaman, Mage, Paladin class. I don't think we're going to do a silent post show, though. I think I'm just going to play off screen. Let me just scroll down my Twitter feed a little bit and see how many games I'm opening actually. It's not a lot. We could save it for Monday. It's been a surprisingly active stream for Friday. Usually I don't get anybody on the stream. Maybe that's because I got the schedule and the time that it came out somewhat close to when I wanted it to come out, which is about 4:30 Central Time. But yeah, this was a lot of people talking, and that's certainly helpful. I didn't get a notification when I started streaming, so I don't. Maybe other people did. Yeah, I don't know if there's really anything else to say. I'm still scrolling down the Twitter feed, but I think I'm done too. Yeah, I don't think I need to scroll down any further. So don't forget that you can go out there and get Destiny 2 if you can figure it out on battle.net. And I guess that just leaves it here. More work to be done. Certainly, I've got a lot of work to do. I'm gonna play these off screen and take it easy. Rest my voice in particular. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. When you subscribe, please click the notification bell. If you want a friend or follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Google+, Steam, or Battle.net, all of those links are down below in the description box. And if you want to support me even further, you can either friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wish list, or just a game you'd like to see me cover, or you can gift me a gift card if you don't want to decide, or you could just support me through Patreon. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.